wanted to go ahead and make this video and go back and talk about a couple of my experiences, specifically with sleep paralysis, and then kind of go on my thoughts about that. I actually want to continue on making my video series about my consciousness series, but I had a little trouble organizing my thoughts. I want to kind of expand on my last video about our purpose, but I'll get to that later when I can organize it down. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and talk about at least two specific incidences where I had sleep paralysis. I've actually had this several times in my life. I just didn't associate it with sleep paralysis, and again, like most of my experiences, just never gave it much thought. So this happened pretty fairly recently. These last two ones, several weeks ago. Where first one where I was sleeping, and it was on a weekend, and I heard like this knocking on my lanai door, my glass lanai door, which is, I don't know, just from my bedroom. I mean, it's right there. So you're talking maybe 10 feet, 12 feet or something like that, even though my bedroom door was closed. But I was hearing this knocking, and so I decided I'm going to get up, and even though that's very odd, I mean, somebody shouldn't be in my lanai, and certainly not knocking on the glass door, but you don't know what it is, so you figure I'm going to go ahead and try to get up and figure out what it is. And then I realized I couldn't move. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't and when I've had these episodes, I go through this little routine, I guess, but trying to open my eyelid. It's kind of funny, but my thinking on it is, if I can just pry open my eyelid, I will force myself awake and I can get up out of bed. But I can't even open my eyelid, so I just am paralyzed, So I'm just laying there, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I can't do anything, and the banging was getting louder. So although maybe it definitely brought me some concern, but I wasn't really scared about it. Because I felt like there wasn't anything I could do. I couldn't move. So of course, eventually I had I don't know exactly when, but eventually I was able to get up. I don't know if I finally went back into a deep sleep and then got up later or not. I'm not sure. But when I got up, of course, there was nobody there. And I'll expand on that in just a minute. The second one was I was during meditation, and I was, again, I use my binaural beats, and I definitely pretty much passed out on that. Meaning I just, instead of staying in my meditation state, I went to sleep, I guess, and I must have been very tired. But then at a certain point, I became consciously aware, because my speakers, I felt like there was this static in my speakerphones. So I wanted to take them off, and then I realized I can't move. I can't move my hands and stuff like that, and I can't get them off. Again, I was just kind of like, this was the first time where I realized that I was in sleep paralysis. I will say that, as far as because this happened after the other one, and I realized, what, that is sleep paralysis. Before that, I just thought I was just very tired, and then it just didn't, which is which is true, but you know, again, I just didn't realize what it was. You know, this time I realized this is possible, that you could, I guess, get go into an out-of-body state in this stage. But I wasn't able to do that. I was able to, you know, like I said, I tried to. I guess because I was not focused or whatever. I mean, I was kind of like, at first I was trying to take the speakerphones off. Wasn't able to do that. And then I tried to, you know, okay, let's see if I can leave my body, and I couldn't do that. And you know, I kind of just did a couple things, and then eventually I just said, well, there's nothing I can do, and I just kind of stood there. And you know, again, the same thing as far as, you know, eventually I was able to get up. And interesting thing to note is that, of course, when I was able to get up, there was no static in my speakers. And of course, I'm using my iPod. It wasn't like, you know, the CD was all messed up or anything. I mean, it's so. What I wanted to talk about on those two things is that the interesting thing about being in this frequency zone of I would assume, you know, your delta state, where you're bringing your, what we would normally consider our waking consciousness, into these different frequencies of consciousness. And I was able to, like I said, like the knocking on the glass door and the static in the speakers, those were not actually existent in this frame of reality, but I was kind of getting more information out of that. But at the same time, I was very aware of where I was, very conscious of things. I mean, actually more conscious in the fact that you know, I knew my body couldn't move. I mean, I knew a lot of different things, but I'm still taking in information from, I guess you would refer to as like this dream world, because I'm getting that outside information too, you know, like basically sound. You know, I was able to get static in the speakerphones, or the, you know, banging on the glass door, and I just thought that was kind of interesting. And I kind of wanted to expand on that. It's just where you're looking into what is this, you know, this I am, you know, this I amness, you know, that most people refer to. I mean, their consciousness. So basically, it just made me wonder about this, you know, this consciousness. And you know, there's a big debate about, you know, whether, you know, consciousness is situated in the brain. And I'd be very interested to know those that believe that consciousness is actually a product of the brain, is why you don't lose the I am part of you. Even when we dream, essentially your brain is kind of shutting off, and you're resting, and but when you're interacting in these dreams, you're still interacting as you. I mean, you know that you're doing things. Now the details may be fuzzy, even the environments may be somewhat strange, but there's no doubt that you are interacting there, that you are there and talking with people, and doing things that you would normally do even in your waking state. So you don't lose that. It's not like you go into these different realms of consciousness, and you just receive like images and colors, and that's it, you know, and you don't even know what the heck is going on. You never lose that that I am part. And I think I think I want to expand on that idea. I might have to make another video about that, you know. So, but anyway, those are a couple of my experiences. So I appreciate your time, and take care.